Greetings, fellow Americans. I need to address this whole walkaway controversy because I think people should know that it's nothing more than a marketing ploy, either to make Republicans think that Democrats are leaving the party in droves, or, hey, listen, if you want to make a viral video, be either a gay person or an African American saying that you're a Republican and woo, you're like the unicorn. So, of course, viral video, why not? But remember, these are the same people that think Kim Jong-un is a good guy and he's going to denuclearize North Korea. All right, let's remember that. The fact of the matter is, Trump Republicans were truly, if they were truly Civil War Republicans like they claim they are, I would walk away in a heartbeat. Unfortunately, Civil War Republicans had more in common with Bernie Sanders than they do with Donald Trump. So instead of listening to some handsome gay guy with over-the-top orchestra music playing in the background, getting all dramatic, and your little propaganda videos, and him telling Republicans basically what they want to hear, demonizing liberals. Ooh, we're going to come get you. We're going to take away your free speech and your guns. Oh my gosh. How about listening to a real liberal? Because listening to him is like listening to a Nazi tell you what Jews think. All right. Ooh, I said the N word. Sorry. But, as a real liberal, let me tell you what liberals really think. Because if, in fact, you were Lincoln-era Republicans, I would walk away in a second. But you need to know what Lincoln-era Republicans are first. First of all, a Lincoln-era Republican would never fly a Confederate flag, let alone fly it on a federal building. Fighting that fight, come on, that is not what a Republican would be doing. Not only did they want to abolish slavery, they were willing to go to war to fight for the freedom of African Americans. Sounds like Black lives really do matter. But one of my favorite Republicans was abolitionist John Brown, because he was willing to break into the armory and steal the weapons to give to the slaves so they could rise up and kill their white masters. Now that is a great Republican. But alas, he was caught and hanged by those racist Southern Democrats. I also loved the Republican plan for after Reconstruction because, especially Sherman's plan, Sherman wanted to give reparations. He wanted to give 40 acres and a mule to help the freed slaves get a fresh start. But alas, that was struck down by a Democratic president, President Johnson. He revoked Sherman's orders, and Republicans wanted land redistribution. They wanted to give the land from the wealthy plantation owners to the freed slaves. What does that sound like? And what about the Freedmen's Bureau? I mean, they wanted to give newly free African Americans government-funded education, health care, food, clothing. They wanted to fight to reunite families, slave families that had been divided by slavery. Civil War Republicans would have never built statues to honor Confederate generals. In fact, those Republicans wanted Confederate generals severely punished after the war for crimes against humanity and for causing the war. They felt they were treasonous. They were not going to erect statues of them or fight to have those statues remain, please. These were the Republicans that were responsible for the passage of the Reconstruction Amendments. The 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. 14th, we love the 14th, guarantees the rights of citizenship to anyone born in the United States. And the 15th, of course, voting rights. Unfortunately, after the Second Industrial Revolution, the Republican Party was hijacked by corporate robber barons and eugenists Yeah, social Darwinism basically became the party platform, and Republican Party has never looked back. By the turn of the century, President Wilson was showing Birth of a Nation in the White House. I mean, come on, this movie glamorized the KKK. And if you think Republicans had anything to do with the civil rights era, think again, because Republican Eisenhower did not endorse Brown versus Board of Ed and dragged his feet to even endorse it or enforce it. And the argument that Republicans were the party of civil rights doesn't take into account that in the 60s, the Democratic Party was largely divided between Southern Democrats and Northern Democrats. It was the Northern Democrats that first proposed the bill in President John F. Kennedy, and the Democrats that initially got the bill passed in the leadership of President Johnson. So if you ask me to walk away, I'm just going to tell you that's just a piece of marketing propaganda trying to get us to believe that gays and African Americans are leaving the Democratic Party. Like Diamond and Silk. I mean, I love those ladies because they have figured out a way to tap into the Republican need for diversity and have made a career out of viral videos being shared all over conservative media. I mean, if that ain't reparations, I don't know what is. Because you see, if a gay person or if an African American made a video for Democrats, no one would care. I mean, our party is so diverse and full of every type of person that it's not a big deal. It's not the unicorn, you know? The bottom line is, I don't need some dramatic music in the background or to talk a mile a minute using language that Trump supporters think sounds real smart when in fact it's just a bunch of inaccurate generalizations that describe both parties. In fact, the liberal view does not state that our views are the only acceptable view. We're not trying to convert you. We're not trying to get you to walk away from the Republican Party and come join us. Please. Quite the contrary. As a history teacher, I tell my students that what truly makes America great is the fact that we can express our opposing views and that compromise is where the magic happens. So if you want to walk away, be my guest. Walk on by because Democrats are going to keep going high. That's right. Go Alta.